Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of the loser bracket final of the GEST challenge. This is a Beyond the Summit presentation, and this is game 2 of MUFC versus LGD Gaming International. I am Luminous and joined by Gods. Game 1, we saw the amazing Hulk, that is LGD International, running in with Lifestealer as well as the Lone Druid, and it felt like the bad guys, I guess MUFC, just had no answer.
Yeah, they couldn't find a way to break through. It was really that bad start which just sort of started to snowball out of control. The gyrocopter support pick has really been the big thing for me, and now for the second time now from LGD International, it's so great in those trialing versus trialing scenarios, and also so great against these sort of hero diving type lines, which is exactly what MUFC had. Night Stalker, Bounty Hunter, Queen of Pain. You're looking to get aggressive, dive for kills, it's that face rush line which IG used to run back in G League, before G League, even back in G1 League. Unfortunately, Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage is fantastic for countering it, so we'll see how MUFC look to adjust here in game number 2. They need to find a way of sort of breaking this slump of theirs.
MUFC is going to pick up Nyx Assassin first, and to be honest, if a battle goes long, Nyx Assassin could do a lot of mana burning, and that could be big, but I think we're very, very far from that stage. Just this game could take a drastically different shape, and it seems like that is going to be the case. LGD looking to have strong lanes as usual, but they're going to have a very powerful mid-game team fight with Magnus and Darkseer. Now the Blink Dagger is not even going to be as necessary for Gods to pick up, but of course, if we pick it up, it's going to be still very, very big. Darkseer, Magnus, I don't see them losing any lanes right now for LGD Gaming.
Yeah, they've got really, really powerful lanes, and something which, unlike the past when they picked up Darkseer, sometimes you're wondering, are they sending it mid with G, or is it going to be in the off lane with Brax? It looks like we are going to be seeing an off lane Darkseer for Braxia because they get the mag up as well, so that does help out MUFC. They know a bit more about what their opponents will be doing. They grab themselves the Rubik and Enigma, so they get the teamfight ulti of their own to have up against the mag, although unfortunately the slightly inferior version of a Magnus ulti, but it's still a strong hero in its own merit, and Chen is going to be the third pick, so they grab up Misery's Chen, knowing that after last game, MUFC are going to ban out all those junglers in the second stage.
Enigma is a hero that I feel like it's been doing some work, but I'm not sure whether I like Wang Wang's item choice. He always goes mech into BKB, and I feel like Blink Dagger perhaps is a better choice, especially when you're so reliant on that black hole initiation. With that said, BKB is going to be very, very useful, especially against a Magnus RP counter initiation. I think positioning as usual is always going to be key, and I personally like Blink Dagger after mech a bit more.
Yeah, I think Blink Dagger is really useful in Enigma, and even if some scenarios where you may not even want to go for the mech, just go for a fast Blink Dagger so you can look to start setting up some gigs. Even just Blink Malefice to lead an initiation, and then you back off and wait for an opening later on to get off that black hole, and sort of towards the end of the fight can be very powerful to play. Neither team yet to pick up their carry, so we'll see a couple of those being banned out here, though, in the second stage. Queen of Pain as well as Luna banned out by LG International, but it's MUFC, they ban out Leshrac and Shadow Demon, so they're looking to target some of those potential support heroes to go with that Chen.
As well as Juggernaut, so Juggernaut being one of LGD International's go-to hero of some sorts here. Meanwhile, if you look at LGD's gaming, they're banning out really high bursty carries, or heroes in general, Queen of Pain and Luna, because they recognize Enigma's a hero that's what I like to call a poor man Magnus, because he needs to channel for his big AoE disable. The other big difference between Magnus and Enigma is that Magnus, if he lands an RP, he could dish out pretty decent damage with Shockwave and Skewer. Enigma is a totally different story. He puts out that black hole and is awesome to watch, but he needs teammate to do the damage. And by banning out Sonic Wave for Queen of Pain, by banning out that Eclipse Luna, who's actually going to do the damage? Right now, Nyx Assassin, Impale, LSA, Dragon Slave, these are some decent AoE damage spells, but it's not a big boom like Sonic Wave is. It's not a big boom like Eclipse is. And I think MUFC's last pick's got to remedy that.
Yeah, it really does. They need something which can have a bit more firepower, I think, and to basically give them that DPS to follow things up. As for LG International, well, I think they've got a large number of options as far as they want to go. They're not going to have the Lone Druid for Pycat, but it will. I guess we're looking at maybe a safe lane trialing this time. Darkseer is a strong offlaner, and if he can't find farm in the offlane, he just goes into his own jungle. They grab Lifestealer though, so I'd be surprised if this isn't a Darkseer offlane, because you've already got the jungler and the Chen, so most likely this is Lifestealer playing the safe lane. and going for that farming role. So Pycat, I guess, on the lifesteal with Brax playing the Darkseer.
I mean, I think they definitely could still swap it up depending what they see. Brack's very comfortable to even solo the lifestealer on the offlane if that's what it needs to be, but obviously most likely we're going to see a trialing and a solo Darkseer composition. But let's say if MUFC picks up an amazing trialing, maybe Darkseer is going to be a safer choice. If they seal a moment of weakness from LGD's or for MUFC's trialing, they could just offensive, and it could be just as good. So for now, it's up to MUFC. And they need a big DPS carry, a bursty DPS carry, and I cannot think of one at the moment.
Well, maybe something like a... Oh, yeah, it's
Kunkka
hard.
could be there.
Yeah, Kunkka's in the pool, but otherwise they go... I mean, they could just go for a safe sort of later game style carry like a Faceless Void, but it just doesn't really seem to fit with what they've already got going. Nyx Assassin, Rubik, and Lina. This is really high aggression, strong early and mid-game team fight, ganking potential as well as there, so... I think it's a lot better to go for a more early game centered carry. Even something like a Morphling, he can do a lot of damage just with a level 4 waveform. They're going to go, ooh, anti-mage though. It works, it just sort of doesn't necessarily fit with the rest of the lineup, but this means they're playing a more 4 protect 1 kind of strategy. The strong 4 early game heroes looking to create space for anti-mages to farm, also protect him when needed and create kills and openings for him to basically be a really powerful split pushing menace.
Yeah, instead of picking a hero that really combos well with Enigma, they're kind of picking an LGD Gaming's weakness, which is the lack of kind of defense against a split push. Chen, like I always say, very immobile support. His army can't teleport around with him. And Anti-Mage, once he gets his Battle Fury, and I don't want to see any Midas Rush or anything, I just want to see a straight Battle Fury. Once he does get the Battle Fury finish, he can be extremely impressive in terms of splitting the map open just by himself, and that's going to create space for the Nyx Assassin. I like how you talked about the 4 creating space for Anti-Mage, but on the same time, Anti-Mage himself create the space for Nyx Assassin, Lina, Rubik to set up those ganks against the weaker support heroes like Chen as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of... This is a game where Nyx Assassin can really have a good time, and he's going to need to. This is going to be the key hero, I feel, for MUFC. Sure, Enigma's there for those big team fights, but I think the team fight isn't really going to be what they're focused on. They're focusing more on getting some early kills, and in the mid game, having Nyx Assassin roam around, because Anti-Mage isn't going to be spending a lot of time grouped up with his team 5-manning until we get sort of ultra late game. So before then, it's more about the Nyx Assassin than it is the Enigma. This seems more like a game where we look to see Enigma use his Black Hole to get some solo kills on key heroes, rather than go for the big 5-man Black Holes in team fights.
And they might need it, considering that these guys are very tank. Rage from Lifestealer, Chen's Hand of God. So even as impressive DPS heroes as you have Lina, Nyx Assassin, they might not be enough, especially if these guys been getting tank. A kind of a thing that we haven't really talked about is the item choices from LGD Gaming. I've seen G go Vanguard on his Magnus game after game after game. We see those naked Vitality boosters on Brax's Darkseer all the time. So, you know, they need to make sure they could burst down heroes even through the kind of value HP items they get. And this is going to be a Windrunner support, most likely, being played by 1437. We've been seeing that kind of a resurgence of a support Windrunner, Liquid run it all the time. And let's see how 1437 will run it himself.
Yeah, I like this. I think it works pretty well, especially if you're not expecting it to be up against a trialing. If you're getting some XP in your own jungle using some pools and stacks, it does work quite nicely here. So we'll have our lanes sort of organized now. It is going to be Pycat playing that Lifestealer. So I think most likely LG International will just be going with that safe lane trialing, offensive trialing with a Windrunner, Chen, Darkseer, just not looking to be all that powerful. And Chen, as we mentioned, doing you can't really go offensive jungle right from the start. You have to get that first creep maybe in your own jungle before you look to contest the enemy jungle. So Invasion, MUFC, Armageddon, well, they're going to go going pretty standard with their lanes as well. It looks like it is going to be FZ playing the offlane Enigma. They'll have the solo mid player. I think it looks like TFG is building for that with his Nyx Assassin. Rubik being played by Winter. We've got Lina in the hands of Wang Wang, and then finally Hontrash player, as always, playing the carry role. He's going to be on the anti-mage.
Good old Quelling Blaze Stout Shield start. Oh man, that's always an item set that gets a lift of the eyebrow, if you will. But definitely, if you're free farming,
it used to be every single game.
It used to be every single game. I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything. It's just not something we see too often anymore. Chen's going to be handled by Mizu here on the LGD International side. 1437 is going to be playing the Darkseer, so it's going to be Brax's Windrunner off lane. Yeah, I've not seen his Windrunner in a long while, and I'm actually looking quite forward to it. Pycat's going to be playing the solo mid-Lifestealer, it seems, and we're going to see G going to be going on that safe lane once again on that Magnus.
And LGD International once again do their little cute swapping trick, because it was Brax who initially picked up the Darks here, and then they swapped it around.
That's what I expected as well. And then suddenly everything changes. So
I didn't even realize until you mentioned when you're introducing them. It's one of those things you don't really notice it. If you just see, because when you first see who's picking what heroes, you just see in the pick screen. You don't think to recheck after basically people have picked their heroes. So maybe MUFC have started to realize that they do it. They probably saw that it was Brax just then on the winner, because Brax pokes out from some harass, and they're like, wait, Brax is on winner? Oh, it's a winner on off lane. So they now know, and regardless of what they were expecting as far as lanes goes, I think they were always going to be doing the lanes this way. In MUFC, there was no questions asked about running this safe lane anti-mage.
it looks like they're going to swing back in here from the right side to go basically claim that jungle, because with 1437's Iron Shell and basically whatever creep that Misery picks up, they will not be able to, looks like dewarding. Can they scope out the high ground vision? Yes, they will. So whoever going to come around and deward that, and suddenly if you are the Radiant support, you're basically stranded. How do you actually challenge the jungle? How do you make past your own jungle? And you're going to be basically afraid to do pulls and whatnot. And they're going to do one regardless. And this could actually turn back and bite them in the ass.
Yeah, so we got the 1v1 matchup between Mag and Enigma at top lane. G, once again, playing the safe lane. Pycat's going to be at mid in the 1v1 matchup against Nyx Assassin. This is actually a really nice matchup for Lifestealer, because he can rage and not have to worry about the carapace if he wants to go in for a kill. So I think LG International really reacted well to what they saw as far as the lanes go, and they're going to look to come contest this pull-up bottom lane. And it's like you say, the Radiant team, they're not going to have any useful wards here. One gets dewarded, and that lane ward doesn't help up against jungle gankers. They're going to be playing very, very blind from LGD International, the potential ganks coming in.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt Anti-Mage too much. I assume he's going to rush to that Tranquil Boots. Because he has a Crawling Blade Stout Shield, he should be fine under jungle as well. Winter going to take a clap to the face, but they're going to focus on 1437. And it looks like they draw first blood. There's a blink towards Brax. Not going to get anything done. I think that was a huge mistake by LGD International. This tri-lane is designed to starve the enemy tri-lane. Not only did you not starve them, you gave them a whole bunch of gold and EXP. That was a big loss for LGD.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a misplay coming out there. And this is, I mean, one kill given away on a tri-lane versus tri-lane when you go offensive with it can be the lane essentially lost. It gets some much-needed levels to this Radiant side. Lina and Rubik getting levels means their damage output is going to get a lot scarier, especially if they can get that level 3 fast. That's where get 2 points in the Dragon Slave, 2 points in the Fade Bolt, and then suddenly things get really hard, and they're camping. They're waiting for Misery to maybe come up here. He's going to send his creep first. They should just be able to bring this down. Stun. There's a nuke there if they need. I think they'll try to stun both there. Wang Wang actually not quite lining up as well as he'd nice, and they are going to steal the Chen creep as well. So that's some nice golden XP going the way of MUFC.
Yeah, but also it took like about 3 nukes, so that's nukes that's going to be not going to the hero's face. I think Misery may be okay with that exchange. Brax getting that level on the bot lane, not hitting 3 just yet, and no shackle shot. That's going to be a big thing in these kind of small-scale skirmishes. We do see Chen trying to look for that one creep. He really wants a Santa. Furbolg's probably one of the best creeps that he could have gotten as well, but wasn't able to win those engagements. Wang Wang with boots of speed. I always point out boots of speed being the key in these tri-lane versus tri-lane matchup. And she's got one, so she's going to be mostly safe against these 2 junglers.
Yeah, and Winter as well, he's sitting on 400 gold now after that Ursa kill, so he's got himself very, very close to his own boots. Lina needs to be careful. Slightly caught out position here. First shockwave coming in. Not going to land, so just some harass coming out from Brax on that winner. Anti-Mage, as you've mentioned already, not going to be really under too much danger of dying, and he's got himself an early bringer regen, so we'll probably be seeing Tranquil Boots coming out on him.
Still missing a couple of last hits under the tower though. It's always tricky to get them, especially when you have you have the crew wave being pulled, well, you have time and sometimes not pulled. It could definitely mess you up if you're not used to lasting there. TFG on the mid lane here looking for that level 6. Already got 5. Once you get 6, suddenly that bot tri-lane, especially with the 2 very low level jungle, they're going to be in big trouble. Misery starts to need to actually lay those sentry wards. They got 1 in lane, but they really need more.
Yep. Mid lane Pycax going really low. He's going to be harassed right down. He does pop a salve now, but he's out of mana. Was almost out of HP here. So TFG at mid on this Nyx Assassin, having a pretty decent time. He's 15 CS to the 16 on life, so they've pretty much been trading farm so far, and he's going to be continuing to control these runes. So we'll have to wait and see if he looks to get a bit more aggressive ganking the map once he hits that level 6. But even alternatively, we see a hero rotate like Lina towards the mid lane and look for a kill on Lifestealer at that point.
Yeah, as well as the matchup is for Lifestealer against the Nyx Assassin, the flip side is also true, because the fact that you're getting constantly mono burned, Until you get that magic stick, and you can see that Brax or Pycat is starting to deliver one for himself.
Ooh.
He's very easily
They want
ganked.
mid lane.
Yeah.
They're bringing the 2 supports here, and with no mana, Life still needs to be very careful. Impel to lead things off. There's going to be a telekinesis mana mode. He's out of mana. This looks like another kill going the way of MUFC. They're going to pick it up. MUFC find their second kill of the game. Really nice gank there. That is so smart from MUFC. They lead with the Impale before the heroes reveal themselves. Telekinesis is the next spell to come, and it sets up for the Lina stun, and they knew Lifesteal had no way to get out of there. He didn't have mana to use the Rage.
That's exactly what I mean without the magic stick. Oh, here comes that 1 second gank here on 1437, and look at the nukes follow up. This is the game plan here for LGD International. They love to have a powerful start in terms of their laning stage. They've lost the laning stage flat out. And TFG, of course, level 6, level 7 almost. Uh-oh, here comes a return kill attempt on TFG, but he should be okay. He could pop his Parapus. No, he already used it throughout the Rage. But yeah, he survives that, so he should be fine.
Yeah, and 3 kills now to nothing for MUFC. I'm wondering how this top lane is going. We've got Enigma actually leading the mag as far as CS goes, so that's always going to be good for FC. He's got Soul Ring, Tranquil Boots, solid build to have in that 1v1 matchup. So all in all, MUFC essentially at this point have suddenly started to win all 3 lanes with these kills being picked up. Antimate's not farming as well as you'd like, but he's still doing decent.
G perhaps in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have the mana for Skira. CFC doesn't have the Black Hole either. He's blocking the choke here, and G's basically sitting ducks. He's trying to salve, but these Eidolons about to split. G getting trapped, and solo kill goes to FCFZ. Everything that could be going wrong for LGD International is going wrong. Haste Rune on Pycat. Maybe he's going to go for the solo kill, but I'm not too sure whether he can.
No, I think Enigma has a black hole up, has 6 Eidolons. Eidolons are about to expire here, but he decides against it. With G respawning, maybe he could, but I think right now he's just going back to mid lane. He needs to get some more items for himself. He needs his phase, his drums, whatever it may be. And MUFC, well, winning all 3 lanes at this point. The bottom lane, the one where Antimate isn't farming to, or the one lane they'd like to maybe sort of change up a bit, but this is going to be tough for LG International. They're not even able to really start pushing down towers with their team yet. They just don't have the items to really do that.
Yeah, they are actually quote-unquote buying themselves sometimes, is that Anti-Mage is actually not getting these last hits. He's only got 17, 18 CS of 6 minutes of basically free farm, I want to say. Although there's, again, a lot of pulling.
He's been, I'd say, in a 1v1 matchup against Winrad, because the supports have been duking out in the jungle here, so I don't think we can quite call it free farm, but we will see a smoke gank coming out of Lina as well as Rubik. They're in their own jungle. They're actually going to run right into this Chen, maybe. This could be bad for Misery. Lina's stun not going to follow up because there's a Centaur stun right at the perfect time. Antimates, he needs to get some big blocks here. It's going to be a Dragon Slave, a Fade Ball. He's trying to block, but there is going to be a path for Chen to get on out here. We'll need another Blink coming through, and this looks like Misery going to be taking a fall. He's got Salve as well. Tango 10 HP. He pops the Salve. He does go down. One more right click. Power shot onto 3, but Nyx Assassin is actually TP'd in now. Forces a surge out from 1437, and Pycat rotated out of mid lane as well. So it took a lot to bring down Chen, but it also LGD International rotated heroes in. So it wasn't just MUFC wasting time for the kills. LGD International wasting Pycat's time rotating bottom.
For me, the big win there was Hantrash player getting that very crucial last hit against Chen. He could now go back to the lane without basically any type of harassment, slowly work up to his Battle Fairy. Keep in mind that once Hantrash player gets his Battle Fairy, he will start to actually split this map open, do a lot of split push, and it's going to be difficult for LGD, especially with the start that they had, to really stop this Anti-Mage from doing what he wants to do.
Pycat TP top. I think they're going to be looking for a gank here and have Pycat wrap around, but I think he spotted it. I think FC saw that, well, not the TP, but I think he came too far forward to the creep wave. Nope, he hasn't. He's playing very far forward. He's going to pop the Tranquil Boots down. This should be a kill here. G going to be going in here. FC is sort of trapped in the corner. He has got a black hole. If there's a TP, and we could look to turn this around with a 2-man black hole. FC, can he get this? He's turning around. He's looking for it. Not going to get it. Oh! So close. I say close, but it really wasn't all that close. Wang going to get brought down. I like the idea that he tried to go for it. If he hits a 2-man black hole and Lina, level 4 Lina with 2 in Light Striker, 2 in Dragon Slave, they could turn that one around. And it was worth trying to make a play for it, but he couldn't find it.
FCFZ trying to do some micro tactics here, trying to get that kill on Magnus. I mean, those black hole, it's so close between the PGG black hole and a next level 2-man black hole, so I can't really call him out on that. It was a good attempt, and you know, losing out on the cooldown on the black hole is not that big of a deal. Like you point out during the draft stage, these black holes are mostly going to be spent on solo kills anyway. He's going to just buy time for that anti-mage, and so far time is bought because they're not ganking him.
Yeah, and yeah, even though he dies waste black hole there, it's obviously advantageous for LG International, but it's not like this black hole's going to be a key spell. They also force Lifesteal to rotate top, so all in all, it's a decent trade. that they're getting. They force Lifesteal out of the lane. They are somewhat giving up their first kill of the game, but I think Anti-Mage with more space to farm at bottom lane, with this mid lane now opening up for TFG to get himself some more farm and items. He's up to 1200 gold, so level 8 as well, and Lifestealer, he's really not been farming at all. Pycat's only just got himself his phase boots.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing, as Vendetta's already been cooldown, so he could be using it for another gank. No teleport score on him. That's going to be an issue. What's going to be coming? That's Arcane Boots up on TFG. So they're getting these necessary items. One thing I do know about MUFC is that once they secure their early game, their mid game looks a lot more powerful than most other teams' mid game, I want to say.
Yeah, they're very organized about their mid game. If they're ahead, they'll sort of be very methodical about taking tower by tower, going for Roshan whenever it's available. They don't take any risk whatsoever, and they don't give you openings to get back in the game. At the same time, they don't look to just sort of blow you away in 5-10 minutes. They make it sort of a slow, drawn-out victory, but it's so hard to find those openings.
LGD.int on top lane here. Maybe in tiny trouble. It's going to find a little bit creep as well. Here comes a surge, perhaps, from that Magnus. Magnus going to, I guess, haste it in, and FCFC solo RP. They're going to bring him down.
Yeah, this is, well, it's a level 8 Enigma as well, so some decent XP and gold going the way of G. He now gets himself up to level 9. Rotation coming in, it's TFG, he's invis. They're going to try to bring down Misery here. Should get burst down right off the bat. Dragon Slave comes in, but Wang Wei may take a fall as a result. G going to get mounted, but he's still got enough mana for one Shockwave here. With a Surge and Iron Shell, they may be able to bring down Wang Wei. Nope, Wang Wei's out, home free.
Yep. 2 kills going into the gankers here, and again, levels on these gankers so very key. Lina gonna hit 6, that's gonna be big. She's also gonna go for Arcane Boots, that's gonna be huge as well. But looks like Winter perhaps in bigger trouble. No level 6, and you cannot give Pycat those free kills. He picks it up easily because he had that phase boots.
Yeah, bit silly there. Winter trying to get some XP at mid lane, but level 4 rate, 6-second duration. He's hoping like, come on, Rage, we're off. I want my telekinesis, but he's not going to be getting it there, and an unnecessary kill being given up here. Not even any ganks coming in.
Yeah, despite how the bot lane here for Brax was able to pick up level 7, now harassing a Anti-Mage off the lane. Anti-Mage does have a healing in the form of that Triangle Boots as well as the Ring of Health, but Winter, it's hard to gank of a hero. We saw Winter trying a couple of times with the telekinesis combo, but for the most part, he's just being a very big annoyance factor for Hontrash player.
And Braxton, yeah, he's really farmed well this bottom lane. He's managed to put a lot of pressure on the Anti-Mage, get himself some decent golden farm. He's up to 1400 with phase boots, so possibly just straight into the 4-staff when you've got the Darkseer to go for the mech. We'll have to wait and see what he wants to go for, but I feel like this win round needs to be packing some additional damage, because Lifestealer, underfarmed as well, is not going to be really playing that sort of one position anytime soon.
I mean, ooh, nice net here on the courier. Another big courier battle. Every game we're going to have something like this. They see it. Oh, Pycat not going to be able to get it. I mean, to be honest, Brax, he's out farming the Anti-Mage at this point. I don't think you could ask for more.
Yeah. Oh, Enigma takes out Mag. Solo Black Hole being used to bring down G at the top lane. As FCFC quite happy to keep using these. He's actually the one going for the mech. So mech's coming on the Enigma for MUFC. No surprises, there'll be that fast mech build. And the question is, does he go for the Blink or the BKB? We've seen different variations, but mostly it's been the BKB. Nyx Assassin out bottom lane, he's invised up. Vendetta, who's he going to be looking for here? There is Pyke on the front lines. Impale, it only hits one, needs to try and hit two. The Antimate's coming in. Mana Void will kill off Pycat here. He's actually used a magic stick to save himself. That shackle shot just saved Pycat's life. Brack's going to take a fall as a result. Maybe Mana Void. Brack still on 70 HP. Blinking from Hontrash, but he gets the kill. Impale coming in a secondary one. Buyback from the winner. He wants to try and turn this around. There's a stun onto Misery. Can they bring down Misery? So close. 100 HP. Not going to be enough. And here comes Pycat. Once again finds Winter on the sidelines. And Iron Shell doing a lot of damage here. Power Shot flying in as well. Pycat going to find himself a double kill as he takes down Lina as well. Antimate's going to be forced to back off perhaps here. Brax. He's died, bought back, and he's now in the middle of a very, very tough position. Heroes on one side, Trees on another. G coming in from the side. Skewer, is there an RP? There is if he needs to. Looks like he's going to get stunned up on the carapace, unfortunately. And Nyx Assassin brought down by a shockwave from Misery. This fight, 11 kills to 7 now. Buybacks from both sides. Anti-Mage buys back. Nyx Assassin buys back. They want to take this. They want to bring down Pycat. Pycat on the run. It looks like he'll escape. But wow, all said and done, MUFC, it wasn't quite the engagement they were hoping for, and they're maybe going to get another kill. G, caught out of position, unnecessary kill being given away to the Enigma of all heroes. 12 kills to 7, all of a sudden things get heated up out Lumi. I don't know what to say about that fight.
I did not expect that fight to break out all the matter. You know, you talked about how the Black Hole and RP being able to use for solo kills because fights won't really happen. When it happened, unfortunately, FCFZ didn't have that Black Hole. He was walking in the middle of hero like 4 or 5 different times, so nobody gave a fuck because he doesn't have Black Hole. On the same token, RP was available, but he just didn't have the damage. And the backup, they're going to go on Winter, and Winter's going to rage away as well. Two red heroes running next to each other. Overall, a big win here for MUFC to continue to lead. Again, RP was available. He just didn't have the time to drop it. And of course, Shockwave hit a Spike Carapace, and that allowed the chains to set up. They're going to go on Brax. Brax getting Monoburn, one hit away. Can he get off the win run? No, he cannot. TFG is just getting way too big. He's being too efficient. And once he gets a Blink Dagger or Orchid, whatever build he decides to go for, it's going to be a really, really difficult for LGD.int to come back. I think Orchid would really seal the deal. If you could silence the Life Stealer or Mag before dropping their spells, it's hard for LGD.int to win a fight afterwards.
Yeah, and it's even without the black hole, MUFC still come out on top of that fight so convincingly as well. They've just got such a great early game team fight composition. It was a 6-for-3 trade at the end after that big, long, drawn-out fight. Heroes buying back, respawning, and MUFC get themselves 6 kills. A 7th kill being picked up there with the Nyx Assassin. As now they start getting towers. They get themselves a tier 1, and that's really the big thing here. If they can get towers on the back of these kills, that's where they start to really pull away from LG International, really try and shut them down. They do have to worry about Pycat starting to get himself a bit farmed. He has got phase boots with those drums. Windrunner, well, is going to be having that 4-star build coming up soon, but still's a bit of a way to go, especially after buying back in that last fight, dying a 2nd time. So really bad fight for Braxat last time around.
Yeah, speaking of pulling away here, the Radiant representing at about a 3k gold lead. Experience lead, not too big, but item is what's going to be counting as FCFC has that mech being finished. And look, he's saving that gold. I don't see an Ogre Club. I think this is going to be a Blink Dagger build, and the way the game's going right now, where they are actually enjoying a pretty comfortable lead, I think that's a good item to extend that league.
Yep. Oh, Life Stealer, he walks right into the 2 smoked up heroes, and he does reveal them. So he scouts out this smoke gang. Winter's looking for a telekinesis to try to pull him back in, but Phase pop, Drum of Endurance there as well, so no chance of really catching up to him. But this tier 1 mid tower could be going down shortly here. Mag not there just yet. He's at the top lane. He's got a TP scroll, but he may be there too late.
Yeah, Mag still needs that Blink Dagger. Still very, very close, but forced to TP, so that's going to give him quite a bit of HG. Huntrash player is going to get shackled. That's a 2-man shackle. Where's the Skewer? Where's the RP? They're looking for it, but he gets telekinesis up. Can we get the damage output? There's a Laguna Blade. Black Hole going to get cancelled. No! FCFC whiffs one, and Shackle Shot not going to land. MUFC off to a very, very bad start, but they're backing off. But there's going to be Infest out from Pycat. He wants TFG. There's a dust on them, but they just have to back off. Darkseer is the only one being lost. Both teams dropping their spells back and forth. Magnus still has that RP if he needs to drop it, but he doesn't want to die. 1,700 gold. I think they should back off and farm that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, what a save from Winter in that team fight. Stops the RP from Magan. MUFC, I mean, the team fight starts really poorly. They miss the black hole, they blow a lot of spells, but they don't lose anyone. They get a tier 1 tower. It does get denied by LG International. So at the end of the day, it's still an alright clash for them just because they don't lose anything. Even though they don't gain a whole lot, they do kill off the Darkseer. So it's 1-0. They get a tier 1 tower denied, and they get themselves some more map control. That tier 1 tower often hard to bring down this early on. So I think MUFC are going to be pretty happy that didn't end up worse for them.
Yeah, it was okay. What they did lose out is they're going to try and go on Pycat. Can you actually bring him down? The burst damage is chain stun. Very, very impressive. But Pycat, without drums and phase, going to just get the hell out of there. I think that what they did lose out was on anti-mage farm time, because he was basically leading the charge. He could be finishing his Battle Fear by now if he didn't have that. And you can see the courier already flying there. So, wait. That is just a Claymore. So he's still quite far away. About 16-17 minutes generally where you have an average timing Battle Fury. And he's not even going to make that timing. So maybe a 20-minute Battle Fury, but that's not going to be impressive anymore.
It's not impressive, but I think MUFC are okay with it. It was kind of how they look to lane things here with the anti-mage up against an annoying Windrunner and essentially a tri-lane at times. They disrupt his farm enough, and he's also been forced to come to these fights. He's 2-1-4 right now. And unfortunately not getting a whole lot of gold from these team fights right now. So he's forced to come and get involved here, but it's worked out for the better of his team overall. You've got Enigma, who's had a huge impact. Enigma's sitting on 100 creep kills right now, has gone for that Blink Dagger with the mech, and, well, Invasion, MUFC, they're at the top lane looking maybe for a push, and they're actually going to go for a smoke with 3 heroes. Where's the rotation going to come?
It looks like they want to backstab on the mid lane here. LG somehow senses it. And it's going to be running into each other, and there's no Magnus nearby. Speaking of Magnus, he's got a teleport scroll. He's got that Blink Dagger. It could be a big, big counter RP. And cue that epic music as a team fight about to break out. Here comes TFG. He wants Misery. He 2-man impaled. Nicely done here. Misery got to get blown up. He is blown up. That's 2 kills instantly going against LGD.int. And the rest of it just have to back off. Wang even going for that Centaur.
Mag may be able to fight this. He's Lifesteal infest into the Mag. Are they actually gonna make a play for this? Got a Blink Dagger on G here. I think MUFC are like, dude, it's 5v3. Surely we can go diving in. If you hit a 4-5-man RP and have Lifestealer come out with a Windrunner Power Shot, maybe they can try to take this fight. Mech is up though, so you're gonna have to hit that perfect RP, and I don't think they're gonna be able to do that. But there is heroes respawning now.
Shackle shot, just throwing them out, hoping that one will latch.
Perfect spread from MUFC so far, so not allowing Mag to get off a big RP.
Speaking of perfect spreads, 1437 would be hoping to get off a 3 or 4 man vacuum and basically destroy that spread. Also, the item progression I want to point out is that Brax going for an Orchid. I like this item a lot more. Now, Force Staff is obviously one of the best items in the game, but I think they need the damage output that Orchid provides. The silence is going to be key, especially against BKB-less Enigma. Oh, Blink skewered down to the low ground, and here comes Infest, but the Black Hole is going to be right there waiting for them. Here comes the Hand of God. Pyka still fighting. There's a 1-man RP on TFG, and can they get that kill? Yes, they will. Mini-stun being provided by Brax. Both guys dropping their big ultimates, and I think with MUFC coming ahead like that, no, here comes Trash player trying to get that last hit. Oh, nicely done with that Mono Void.
Yeah, that gets him some good gold, and they're going to go for another pick off here. Misery, he gets skewered back in. Rubik stole the skewer, brings Misery back into the fight. Vacuum going to catch 4 heroes, though. Winter only at the background's the only one not caught out of 2 heroes. Lina and Anti-Mage as well, brought down in the Vacuum. Iron Shell damage. Winter now in all sorts of trouble. He's going to run away. They're going to give up a tier 1 tower. Denied by FCFC. He's played well in that Enigma despite some questionable black holes, but his overall decision-making and teamfight involvement has been really spot on.
Remember what I said about the Enigma Black Hole? He does not provide the damage throughout that Black Hole. And sure, we had a decent Black Hole, but nobody was killing the enemy that was being 2-man Black Hole in that instance. So we're starting to see more of that happening right now. Of course, there was a 2-man Impale, there was LSA and all that stuff, but Anti-Mage wasn't providing damage. He wasn't actually split pushing either. This kill on Anti-Mage for me is the big thing. LG, and I think they're coming back, starting to kind of claw their way back from a very, very big deficit.
Yeah, or XP and Gold Graphs agree. It was a bit of a drop down now. It is still MUFC with a solid gold lead, about 4k there, but XP getting smaller and smaller, and that's really the big thing here. LGD International, they just need these levels. They're going to have level 2 Mag Ultimate, they're going to have Darks here, who doesn't have any points in the Wall of Replica just yet. But for LGD International, they're fighting these without some sort of key items as well. Darks here still with no mech. We've got Windrunner, who hasn't got the Orchid up just yet, is still sort of slowly still building towards it. And this is going to be Anti-Mage, who's still quite a long way away from a Mantis Cell. So when that Orchid's up, this Anti-Mage won't have any way of getting rid of the silence if he's being focused down. And there's probably going to be Orchid use even just to kill off Nyx Assassin to prevent him using Carapace. There's all kinds of other good uses for it as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players think of Orchid as a very, very good silence, and it definitely is. But don't forget about the fact that it has a mini Dagon effect. If you're nuking them with the Orchid on top, it will provide you an extra nuke at the end. And you cannot underestimate that extra nuke, especially when you have burst damaging spells like Power Shot, Shockwave, and everything on top. So once that item's going to get picked up, it's going to be a huge impact in this particular game. And that's why I personally hope that TFG was going to go for it. Blink Dagger is still a very good choice, though. It's going to provide them the initiation they need. And personally, I love the fact that they have a gem pickup. They're leading the game right now. Let's choke LGD and make sure that there's just no map control here for LGD. And hopefully win the game slowly but surely.
Yeah, it looks to be what they want to go for here. MUFC now, they're going to look to try to fight this bottom lane. Trash player blinks him, maybe pretending to farm me. The Sentry Ward, TFG, Shackle up, dead.
Gem being dropped. He ran past the Sentry. That was...
Yeah. I didn't
he
realize
had Blink to blink back out either. I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm okay with that play if he doesn't have a gem, but when I see that gem drop, I'm thinking, wait, he just walked right into that Sentry Ward.
What's better than a Wildkin Tornado? Three tornadoes. Yeah. That's like the most OP thing in the game. Not sure why he put 3 at once, but hey, tower is picked up.
It's the Hurricane Katrina strategy. Get as many...
Man, I made that joke once, and I felt bad about it because... Because Hurricane Katrina is, you know...
Serious business.
Serious business, yeah.
I used to do that strategy in pub games. You'd go helmet... Back when you could dominate more than one creep.
That was a good strat.
I'd go for the 6 Wildkin strategy.
6 Wildkin.
It was totally imba, and then you just send them all at once into the enemy base while you're trying to siege them.
Well, Misery, only half as good as Gods, as only got 3 Wildkin, but those 3 Wildkin will provide the extra armor bonus, and go for this Roshan. So one free kill being picked up against the Nyx Assassin and transition into Aegis. I think LGD, again, like the Grow Graph and EXP Graph suggests, they're coming back. They're still looking for those key items, but they're slowly getting them.
Yeah, and as much as, I mean, Enigma, the blink before BKB was nice, at this point he really needs a BKB. Shackles, Vacuum, there's so many spells that have been cancelling it. The RP isn't going to really cancel a BKB Black Hole, because you have to get in close melee range. You'll get caught in the Black Hole if you go and try and do that. So there's always been a shackle shot, or last fight at mid it was the Vacuum cancelling it. So I think going for a BKB at this point is essential for the Enigma.
Yep. And look, I hope he's going to be going for it. Got 1,400 gold in the bank. Speaking of which, Brax also got picked off, got his own Orchid finish, and that's going to provide some big team fight opportunities for them, but looks like they're still going to take that fight with Brax being dead.
That's a nice little pick off. They get Antimage gets the kill. He gets himself some farm. Forces LG International, who are maybe going to look for sort of a bit of a group up and push there. Well, they're like, oh crap, we're going to go defend this tier 2, stop the split push, stop Antimage from getting more farm. And Antimage gets himself a kill, goes in mid lane, continues his farm. So that was a nice little boost in his GPM, which he really needs at this point to start getting towards that Manta style.
Also created some space here for FZ to continue split pushing on the bottom. Gotta watch how those Enigma Eidolons might grow, as he gave away some extra gold. FC, I think he's trying to wait for a teammate to come by to set up a gank on G. I don't think you get the solo kill. G's fairly tanky at this point, but he's waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting for it, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get too much out of this.
Nope, it's going to come back out and keep on pushing that lane. Yeah, at this point here, you can see LGD is just responding to the rotation here coming from MUFC, and that's where you want to be when you have an anti-mage, because you have 4 heroes basically split pushing every single lane, putting on pressure on towers. Meanwhile, anti-mage is farming wherever he can. Your jungle, their jungle, your ancients, their ancients in the lane sometimes, and that's where the Battle Fury plus the Quelling Blade and the Yasha for movement speed gets very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and at this point, MUFC are just looking to try put on as much pressure as possible. They know they're still slightly ahead as far as having this strong early to mid game lineup. And the LG International side, I mean, they don't really have a clear carry going towards the late game. They've got a Lifestealer who's somewhat underfarmed, hasn't really got any more item progression beyond the armlet just yet. Winner going for an Orchid build is going for a semi-carry DPS type of build, but Antimage is just far superior, and they're going to catch out G. Blinking from the next assassin. Antimage comes. He's going to skew it onto the high ground here. It looks like he may get out. No, FCFC's there waiting. He gets silenced up, but it's after he's already Malfa. 2-man shackle shot, not going to save him. Mana Void goes, hits Brax as well. So, really good start to the fight here from MUFC and LGD. Well, they're coming in to take this, but they can't turn this around. Mag has no buyback. They do not want to look for a fight here.
Ooh, TFG. Gotta be careful. The key thing about that Mag kill is that Mag was trying to go for a refresher, and that's going to put a big stop sign on top of that. So some of the more explosive item that they're trying to pick up here, all silence here against on trash play, that Shaco shot. How did that hit? But that was a very, very welcome kill. And with Anti-Mage being dead, they're buying themselves more time.
Yeah, that's a big thing he failed to need. I mean, they're buying themselves time, but they don't want to be playing for ultra late game. They need to be looking to just claw their way back in the game by getting kills here and there where possible. They've got a strong team fight late game, and mid lane. Enigma blinking in, not going to make a go on anything here. He's starting to build towards that BKB, but there's a surge up 1437 trying to chase him down, and this is FCFC. He's got his blink up in 2 seconds. He's going to be getting out here. Shackle not going to latch on. Blink. Yep, just comes off cooldown in time.
And that's where Blink Dagger will save you, not many other items would. Wang Wang still rising it up in the enemy jungle. A big push coming out here from LGD, trying to take advantage of the 24-second death timer here left on the anti-mage. And I think they're going to get that at 1 tier 2. Maybe Radiant's going to take a fight over it. I don't think they should, though.
Yeah, I don't think he should either. I don't think they should either, as it looks like without Antimage they just can't fight this. It's going to be open wounds into Rage. It looks like they want to just bring down Winter before this fight even begins. He's been mech'd up, and that uses up the mech as well. Mech gets used to try and save him, but it's not going to be enough. Tornado, here we go. Tornado's being dropped down, and they're going to take a fall as well from the Mag. The Blink Skewer. It's just setting up kills left, right, and center, and now LG International, they're playing from behind, but they find 2 quick openings, and they get a tier 2 tower. Maybe they even look to go for a tier 3 here.
And that's why you shouldn't take those fights. You're down hero. I mean, Enigma's going to be nice if he has backup, which he did not. Got 2 free kills, and suddenly LG Gaming, despite being down a lot of gold, they're coming right here, but Blink coming from TFG, he's going to try to get himself out of there. He does, buying their team a lot of precious time, but still 29 seconds from that mech as well as a black hole. I think LG recognized that opportunity. They're going to call Ryan at least to get the tier 3 tower, maybe even go for the racks.
Yeah, maybe go for the racks as well. Another blinking Impale coming in once again, and Mag and Winra just get dissipated there. Buyback instantly from Braxton. Lifestealer is now going man mode in the enemy base. He's brought down 1, but he's not going to be enough to save his own life. Pyke going to take a fall. He's got Aegis though. That's the big thing here. Can they change something? They need telekinesis. It looks like there's no mana for an Impale. Pyke just going to try to fight his way out of this one. TFG, you got to be careful. You got to run. Here comes Enigma. Black Hole catches out just Pyke though. Misery almost walks in. Vacuum is there from the low ground again. Cancels this Black Hole. MUFC, they're trying to find these openings. They're just struggling to do so. They need to bring down more here. Brax as well as Misery both low. Great AoE stun coming out. Another multiple hero Impale. The buyback coming from Nyx Assassin. Brax on the run. Looks like he's going to take a fall. He's win run up. Hon Trash Player looking for another auto attack. It's the Impale coming. Lands, and MUFC, they hold on, and they hold on in a big way, getting themselves a lot of kills there.
Wow, LGD just got way too greedy. They knew Enigma was coming back, but they thought they had time. Blink Dagger initiation from behind from the Nyx Assassin, and Han Trash Player opened up the team fight with one of the most beautiful Mana Void I've ever seen. I think with that, they're going to try to swing back and at least get a tier 2. But so with all things considered, LGD really pushing for the league, and they were able to grab a tier 3 tower. If they win another fight like that, if a big, big mistake being committed by MUFC, they could just lose a Rax flat out. So they got to be very, very careful about how they play their game in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, and more than anything, the big issue with losing a fight like that is Antimate suddenly gets a ton of levels and farm. And at this point, getting 2, 3, 4 levels out of that fight means a lot. You get a lot of extra stat points. You get yourself up much beefier. He also got a ton of farm now. He's up to 2k gold, so we can look at maybe starting to build that Heart of Taras, maybe a Butterfly, even just going for a casual Vlad. I think Vlad would be really nice at this point on Antimage. And Chen caught up by Nyx Assassin in the enemy jungle, or in his own jungle, sorry. Nyx Assassin just being an absolute utter pest right now. Double damage and helped ensure that kill. And well, things for MUFC are looking really good.
Yeah, a lot better than just about a minute ago where they're really about to get racks. Speaking of which, let's check out how we're doing in terms of the item progression when we have about a couple minutes of free time. G still working on that Orchid, or not Orchid, excuse me, working on the Refresh Orb. And Basher is finished here on Pyke. Basher is going to be the key. The next level answer item here to that Mantis Owl is get that Abyssal Blast, Bash, and then basically go for the kill. Chen's been working on that Acceptor for the longest time. I think he has stopped to get a Vlad's, which I love the item choice, considering that it gives you the armor that you need against the Anti-Mage. That's pretty much it for Dire. Radiant picks up a BKB on that Enigma, and as well as a Manta. Big RP going on Han Trash Player. Will that be enough to Shackle Shot Vacuum? They're going to get that kill clean. Now, there is buyback available on the Radiant, but that kill was huge because Roshan back very, very soon. Dire could get some map control right now by pushing out multiple waves, or maybe even threaten a mid-Brax push, but it seems like they want to go for the safer Roshan later on.
Yeah, they'll wait for that respawn. Maybe they are going to go for a smoke gank here. They're going to go straight top, try and find TFG. And with the gemstone, this lifesteal, this could be a little pickup here if they can find him out of position here. They're searching around for him. He's going down river. Have they seen him? Pink's coming out. They've spotted him. Blink Skewer is going to be near, but he blinks away just in time. And it looks like they're going to be able to get a tier 1, tier 2, maybe even a tier 2 as well at the top lane with this. Yeah,
again, just putting themselves back in a position. You can see the goal graph getting a lot more even with these fights being traded back and forth. That kill on Anti-Mage, again, absolutely huge. Han Trash Player should be mostly farming jungle, not put himself in a very dangerous position. He knows that the Blink RP is available. He knows there's an Orchid on enemy team. He should just avoid seeing heroes and mostly just hit those neutrals time and time again.
Well, tier 1 down now. It looks like they are going to back off, not go for the tier 2. MUFC are camping near mid lane. I wonder if they're going to try and find a little pick off here. TFG lurking around at bottom lane now as well. So they're swinging there, and LG International have no observer wards up apart from, well, in the enemy base. They don't know where this rotation is. They're pinging around, and they've got to be very, very careful here.
Yeah, they see Anti-Mage teleport up top, and that's going to be... What the Dire want to do right there is basically wait for a support to, try to defend and basically get a free kill. Anti-Mage is not a free kill considering that he has Man Style and RP is down. So immediately everybody backs off from LGD and try to maintain that small lead they got. Meanwhile, MUFC trying to make that same bait. They're waiting for somebody to defend this tier 2 tower and get those EXP.
I don't think it's going to happen. They actually they revealed themselves spamming off the lane. So Brax was going down there to farm the lane. Then quickly he saw 3 heroes spam at the wave. He's like, oh, I better think twice about this one. So LG in position now near bottom. They've got the infested Lifestealer in the mag, and Roshan just about to respawn. So they're looking just to basically start push out some of these lanes, get some creep wave momentum so that they can take a somewhat uncontested Roshan, or if MUFC want to contest it, they're doing so at the cost of not defending some of these other lanes.
Roshan back in about 30 seconds or so. Both teams getting their position ready. I just want to point out the wards on the mini route right now. This ward is going to provide so much vision for the Dire team. But instead of going into the pit, they're going to do a big smoke around gank. They see Anti-Mage mid. RP is completely worth it. if they get the kill.
Yeah, they were happy to do that last time. They'll maybe try and look to find him again. Anti-Mage, he's already backed off. He's up to 4k gold now, so I think he needs to get something to help survive that combo, which is just raw HP. Get a hard Terrace so they can't just pop you during that RP. And MUFC, they're all smoked up now. Everyone except the Anti-Mage, and Roshan has respawned.
Both Dire's trying to do this big bait on Roche. Finally come out and start trying to take it. And immediately, the Radiant team, I think they know that it's going to be attempted at this point. That Roshan, though, making it difficult, bashing it up. Tornado being summoned for a little bit more sight, as well as that slow to stop that initiation. By the way, that Tornado, so annoying if you're playing Enigma with the Blink Dagger. The AoE is deceptively large, and you can get your Blink Dagger canceled like that.
Yeah, you've got to be very, very careful about it. Enigma, he does have the BKB up now, which is going to be the big thing this next fight. So only an RP to really bring him down and basically help make sure that he have something go through the BKB. But once he's popped the BKB and he's walking in, if he's casting Black Hole, you can't really look to blink RP him. So if Enigma can even just find 2 or 3 heroes in this next fight with a BKB Black Hole, it can be really crucial for MUFC.
Both teams spotting for position, and that's where having the Anti-Mage is very, very nice. The thing is, he really needs a tier 2 tile to something like that to TP to, but he does have one in the bot lane, and he will be blinking towards it, the Roshan fight, if it ever breaks out there.
Yeah.
And of course, he's constantly putting up pressure, so the Dire team eventually has to defend against top. They're defending against mid now. They don't have that mobility hero that you normally enjoy by having like a Nature's Prophet or Keeper of Light or anything like that. And LGD is just playing from behind. They have the Dire side advantage, quote unquote, so Roshan is not that difficult.
Yeah, it's not at all difficult. Anti-Mage now. What do you think about the BKB over a Heart or a Vlad's or a Butterfly? Do you think it's going to be a good item against this LGD lineup?
I don't like it. RP goes through it. Abyssal just completed on Pycat. If he's going to die, he's going to die from a big RP initiation to basically all the chain stun in the world. And that BKB is not going to be impressive. LG going for the haste rune. He's going to find it without too much issues. But I think you're right. Heart is probably going to be safer. He saw the Bastion on Lifestealer. And that BKB is going to be somewhat of a joke. Oh, look at this bait here. Brax infesting into a creep. Or Pycat infested into a creep. I keep calling him Brax because Brax always plays a Lifestealer. And if he gets Anti-Mage...
Straight Abyssal.
Oh my goodness.
Just go straight into an Abyssal with it. And then it should be able to catch the Anti-Mage. And then the Blink backup can come from a Mag RP.
Ooh, he's going to come. There's Abyssal Bash. BKB gets popped. Oh, did he get the right one? RP? No RP just yet. G's going to back off. They're going to focus on Pycat. Pycat gets healed by the Hand of God. Worst Mex come back. He's going to get sent back. But here comes the Black Hole. That's going to grab everybody. Misery going to get blown up. They're going to focus on Brax. He's dead as well. 2-man Black Hole. 1437 in the jungle. G's out of there. But that Roshan, it's dead.
Yeah, it should be. Winrunner as well as Chen on the sidelines. They really need that Winrunner team fight. Feels like they're pinging Roshan. And did he Abyssal an illusion there? Did he actually use the Abyssal Blade on
He did.
I think he manted after the Abyssal Blade?
He manta BKB, and then Pycat was able to find a real one after the BKB. But everybody else came back in.
Yeah, it just there isn't like that instant presence from LGD, and even with Pycat catching Anti-Mage by surprise, there's just no instant engagement from the rest of his team. Only Mag with the blink, and Mag, if he blinks in, he's not going to RP just the Anti-Mage when there's 3 or 4 other heroes for MUFC lurking around. If it's a easy clean solo kill, he might, but not there. So I think they just don't have quite the follow-up damage to try and pull that off, unfortunately. And well, they're not going to lose Roshan for this, or maybe they will. Pycat, he gets silence onto the Nyx Assassin. Shackle shot from Brack. Once again, Blink RP from G catches everyone. Oh, what a horrible fight for MUFC. They lose 3 instantly.
Wow, this is a game of wombo combo. You blinked, you missed it. And unlike how the MUFC was able to win a team fight, they're very, very far from the Roshan. Dire could just get the Aegis, but they say your tier 3s is down. We're going to go for exposed racks. And I think this is ultimately the smart decision. Was buyback available? There was no buyback available on anybody. Enigma, he does have the buyback, but unfortunately, Black Hole is down.
Yeah, it's buyback, and he's got a Maleficent to play around with. He's got some just sort of to stall with a Midnight Pulse, but this is at least one set of racks. Is that pinging the tier 2 towers, they can't actually go for another push here, and they're going to be in engagement. FCFC, Blink skewered back in immediately after he bought back.
Anti-Mage trying to make this some of a game here by split pushing up top, but here comes the TP from Windrunner. She could easily defend, but there's 5 Anti-Mage illusions. Nice dodge here on those illusions. They're going to get a tower. They're going to work on the racks. They need more TPs. Where are the teleport scrolls? Looks like Brax got sent back by Chen, but a nice amount of damage being done here by Hontrash player with those illusions.
Yeah, LGD were pinging Roach and they wanted to go for it, but they realized they had to get back and it couldn't be just winner at the top lane. So they will manage to get themselves a tier 3 tower in MUFC, but they lose the mid-rack because they have to try and contest this Roshan, I feel. That's going to be the big thing here. If they give that to the Lifestealer can just look to basically slow siege them in one of the side lanes, going in, just be in the front lanes, chipping at the tower, force a bad engagement from MUFC because of the fact he's got 2 lives, and from there it gets really hard for MUFC to come back if they give him this Aegis. But it looks like countering the Roshan here may be too difficult.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't like what Hans Crash player is doing right now. He should be either split pushing top or making his way to the Roshan. He's finally going to go there, because one of the best way to stop Roshan is threat for that Rax. But I think he's given the Dire team way too much time, and they see Anti-Mage up top now. They know they're going to get the Aegis in time, and they're going to defend that tower up top too. It's going to be close, so especially if some of these teleport scroll gets cancelled, Rax going to get started, but there's the immediate double TP. The backup protection is back on. They get the Aegis. They don't pay for it by losing any Rax damage. I think MUFC dropped the ball big time there.
Yeah, and MUFC need to just keep playing this split push. At this point in the game, they're one way out with this Anti-Mage. And that's where the BKB doesn't really help you split push at all. That's where having Heart Butterfly is the way to go, and it's where this BKB probably wasn't the right idea for Anti-Mage, for Trash Play. He could instead have either a Heart or a Butterfly, and the other of those 2 items about to be finished as well with this 5k gold. He's got to go for one of those. And considering he's already bought a BKB, I guess it's going to be a Butterfly. Having the evasion will definitely help against Lifestealer as well as Windrunner. But it's still... this BKB just not really justifying itself.
I mean, to be fair, if he pops BKB, Abyssal or not, RP or not, it's still so very hard to bring him down because of the innate spell shield, the innate high armor. They don't have enough to bring him down once he pops the BKB, unless he gets chain bats like 20 times. But with that said, even if he survives with the BKB activation, he's not going to be high HP enough to actually take the fight back to LGD International. And that's why I think Heart is slightly superior in that instance. They're going to try to split push, but the push is coming out a lot faster from LGD, and they could just threaten for the Rax trade. Well, not even a Rax trade, because they have a tier 2 protecting so far.
They're not going to do it. They are going to back off here, so they may as well TP defend this tier 2. Yeah, they'll do just that. Dark's going to be the first to TP in, and I thought they could maybe just gone for the tier 3 tower at top there, especially with an Aegis. They just have to send the Lifestealer in for that slow siege, but not going to be the case. They bring multiple heroes bottom. It looks like they just want to keep all these lanes pushed out, wait for the next opening where they can catch off heroes using the Mag, Blink Skewer, a Blink RP, or even just Windrunner with the Orchid. And Mag at top lane, I wonder how close to his refresh orb he is. It looks like he's got enough gold for a refresh orb, so we're going to be seeing double RP in these next fights. And TFG...
Hasterun in the bottle just juking these guys. Forstaff's gonna pick up Nyx Assassin. Man, these MUFC guys just love their Blink Forstaff combo. Just ultra mobility, which is nice in a game like this where there's so much Blink Daggers around. Speaking of Blink Dagger, I love 1437's pickup on Blink. I think this is actually one of the key items in the game, because instead of having your RP initiation, I think 1437 should be the initiator now. He blinks in and start to fight. Oh, Brax or Pycat. Uh-oh.
Shade's done perfectly. Can't get the rage. He gets a rage off just before he gets picked off. And now he's going to respawn with no rage. Oh, this is absolutely terrible for him. He raged just before he died. Here's a Blink RP, though. That's going to turn things around. Can they get Pycat, though? Lena trying to go to town there. Here comes the Darkseer counter initiation. Black Hole catches just one, though, unfortunately. And it's buybacks now. Darkseer as well as Lifestealer both buying back in the fight. They're going to lose G as well at the top lane. That's the perfect initiation from MUFC. And what a pick off on Pycat there. Caught out of position and brought down. Didn't have the rage when he respawned was the big thing there.
They're teleporting back? Why?
The buyback? There's no RP.
There's no RP!
Lifestealers, no buyback. I guess they've used Black Hole as well as Mana Void. And
but there's...
confident? Rubik tried to steal an RP. He actually ended up stealing the Empower there, unfortunately. Winter was just a little bit too slow.
Magnus dead for 46 seconds. That was key for them to go. It's at worst a 5v4 fight, which you will take with the BKB Butterfly Anti-Mage. I'm not sure why they backed off. And next time, they're not only dealing with a Blink RP, they're dealing with a Blink Vacuum, a Blink Double RP, because G somehow has found himself a Refresh Orb throughout dying all this time.
Yeah, it's going to get hard now for MUFC to find another opening as good as that one. I think LGD, that was one little slip up for them. They were thinking, okay, we can't afford to have that happen again, or suddenly MUFC's back in the game or barreling down mid lane, getting a counter Rax, and it's anyone's game. So fights like that can't really afford to happen. LGD, and it looks like they are going to calm down a bit now and not really look to try force the issue too much. And I think that's big for them. The next 4 or 5 minutes, they can't really try take team fights unless it's MUFC pushing in there defending, because buyback on cooldown for Lifestealer, not to mention Mag with no buyback as well.
Well, defending, that's what they will do, and do it fairly well. Brax picks up a BKB of his own, and he's going to be starting to represent some decent damage. Focus Fire, not exactly your insane late game spell, but when you have enough item on that Windrunner, she's hitting for some decent damage, especially with the attack speed and damage being granted by Orchid. They're pinging out yellow, they're popping that drums, they want him dead, especially when you get that silence on. Where's the silence? Where's the silence? It's gonna be slow. No force staff just yet. It's getting cancelled. There's a silence. He's getting forced blink. That's what this combo of items allows you to do.
How do you gank a Nyx Assassin with Force Staff, Blink Dagger, and Carapace? It's just... Even if you get the silence off to lead things off so he can't Carapace, he forces away, and by the time you maybe catch up, Carapace is there in top lane. Anti-Mage, he's going to force Heroes back here.
Man, Contrast player, gotta be very careful.
He's going to have that hard as well, so he's going to be Butterfly hard in no time at all. I imagine he wants to make sure he has buyback gold, but when he's got that hard up, maybe even doesn't go hard at this point. 1800 HP, he could get up to about maybe 2.6, 7, maybe even close to 3k with a Heart of Tarraskia, but against Lifesteal, that's just HP which he can use to basically do more damage and Lifesteal more for himself. So we'd even be looking for a Basher being picked up for Anti-Mage if he wants to try fight heroes like Lifesteal head on.
Yeah, I mean, bash him before he bashes you, and hopefully your team backs you up. Wang level 15 with his own Blink Dagger. It's actually beginning to really difficultly call like who has the team fight advantage, because there's so many Blink Daggers around. I'm gonna just call it even. Whoever used a Blink Dagger better is gonna have the advantage. Both teams representing some big AoE ultimates. And let's not forget about...
It's MUFC who are actually ahead as far as Golden XP goes. XP especially, they've got a big level advantage.
But, I mean, how much does the XP matter when you get 4-man Black Hold or 4-man RP? So, I'm not sure how much of these graph actually mean anything at all.
Yep, and a lot of that XP is just Anti-Mage being level 25, no one else in the game. The next highest level is level 21, so the difference there isn't really going to be that significant. I do agree. It's going to come down entirely to positioning and who gets off the better ultimates, and double RP for Mag is the key thing here for this Dire side.
Yeah, there's also Anti-Mage GPM, and then just about everybody else. Nobody even near where he is right now.
It's 406 for Anti-Mage, 200 for Windrunner. And he had a really bad start, but this is just how Anti-Mage does. I mean, once you get that momentum, you start pushing all the lanes. No one else is really farming. LGD.int are looking for team fights or pickoffs, and they don't really have a hard carry of their own who can do anything like Anti-Mage can. So it's no real big surprise that this is happening, but we'll have to look to see Anti-Mage. If he even wants to drop this TP scroll, he's going to have to if he wants to buy a new item.
Yeah, I mean, normally against an Anti-Mage, you were talking about getting Butcher Travel and opening up a slot here for the last one.
Yeah.
Which could be a Heart or a Basher like you talked about. But normally against an Anti-Mage, you think, late game, Anti-Mage is going to get us beat. I don't really think so, because Anti-Mage just approaching that max slot, and I feel like Dire has a lot more room to grow. Windrunner, a completely feasible late game semi-carry. Lifestealer's got a couple of slots to work with. Magnus, I know we're not talking about a pub combo video where he blinks in RP and kills the whole team, but he definitely could be a legitimate semi-carry. 1437 could get a Sacrifice or Shiva or whatever. So I feel like the later this game go, LG is going to have a lot more room to grow. Meanwhile, if you look at the other side, Nyx Assassin's really forgone the late game build. He's going for more of a support kind of utility build. Same thing with Nigma, same thing with Alina, same thing with Rubik. So the later this game goes, it's more of a 1v5 fight, and I'm not sure whether Anti-Mage is that hero to win a late game fight like that.
Yeah, if it does go that long enough, but it's still LGD.int, these heroes you mentioned, like Windrunner and Mag, to get those next time up, they're all sitting around the 1k mark. Even Darkseer, Side of the Vice is not coming anywhere near as fast, and for the most part, it seems to be Lifesteal as well as Windrunner getting the farm, pushing out the lanes. Windrunner, I think, is the main hero who could pose a late game threat. Get something like an MKB to deal with the Anti-Mage evasion as well, and you could see some strong damage coming out to bring him down. Both Nyx Assassin and Enigma, as well as Lina, these heroes on the Radiant side of MUFC, they're going for these heavy support item-based builds, but they've got a ton of gold. Enigma with 3k, Nyx Assassin with 3.2. We could see some Side of the Vice progression there. They're going to be getting Side of the Vice up before the Darkseer does, before Windrunner might. So it's definitely MUFC who seem to have a bit of a gold advantage, although they don't have that strong late game apart from the Anti-Mage. Though if they hit some big black holes, then it definitely can happen.
Yeah. For anybody that's joining us, this is game number 2 of the GST Challenge of the loser bracket final between LGD International and MUFC. LGD up 1 game where they kind of took it very convincingly with their Lifestealer and Magnus and Lone Druid. But right now, this game kind of up in contention here. 8 kill separates the 2 team. The goal difference not too big. I mean, that's a big number, like 6k, 7k, but really it doesn't matter. EXP, it doesn't matter. It just comes down to the multiple Blink Daggers, the multiple BKB, and Orchids in this particular game. So whenever we'll resume, we're going to see some big team fights. We witnessed some big team fights already so far, but my eyes on G with this Refresher Blink double RP available to go.
Yeah, and while we're on pause, just a big thanks, of course, to the sponsor of the GST, the GMPGL, all these events. It's a Gigabyte who do these month in, month out. They're the ones who are sort of making the Dota 2 come to the Southeast Asian and just Asian scene in general. They've been sponsoring events all of last year as well as this year. So it's not just probably a lot of Western viewers tuning in just for the GST challenge, but they sponsor events, the regional events, the GMPGL qualifiers, which are qualifiers for the GST Dota 2. And the way the format works is that the top 2 teams from the GST Dota 2 compete with a couple teams from China, which is your GST challenge. That's what we're watching now. And you get access to all these matches in Dota 2 if you want to, with a $3 Dota TV ticket. So it's a really good value for this February-March season. There'll be a new one every sort of couple of months with each new season. But big thanks basically to Gigabyte for sponsoring it, and Dota Talk, of course, for being the host for the event.
Is there any big item being picked up that was going to change the team fight? I feel like we had enough time to really talk about it.
I think I don't think any big items. I think something the Radiant team should invest in right now is a Vlad's.
Yes.
Late game, give some lifesteal to the anti-mage. And it's really +5 armor to all your entire team, plus like 16% damage or whatever it is. Even to heroes like Lina, because Lina's going to be hitting pretty fast with Fury Soul. So I think it's definitely probably the best item which they could be getting next. Otherwise you're looking at Scythe of Ice, maybe on Nyx Assassin. I don't see too much else here that Nyx Assassin will be picking up as far as a late game item goes. Maybe a Ghost Scepter of his own.
Yeah, to be fair, whoever that's going to be picking up is going to forego a buyback. So this is kind of a precarious time to pick it up. Obviously, you don't want an anti-mage to buy it because he definitely needs a slot.
I think Lina could. Lina has the 1800 gold.
I'm hoping that the game will get late enough where she has enough go for the Eagle song.
Oh, yeah.
And blow some people up with that shotgun. But with that said, probably Vlad's is going to help the team a lot more.
Yeah, and the Dire team are playing around with no buybacks. They're smoked up at top lane. They're looking to make a go here, and it looks like MUFC are ready. Going to unpause. And the other thing here, going to the next, probably the big thing to talk about is going to be Roshan. That's coming up in about 2.5-3 minutes time. I don't see LGD going for a push to get another set of racks. They're just looking for pickoffs. They're looking for maybe a team fight on their own terms. They're not looking to force a push at top lane. So next big key moment is going to come around when Roshan respawns, unless one team smokes and finds the other.
I mean, if they get a pickoff right now, they will definitely go for a Rax push. But
yeah.
The pickoff is the priority. Huntrash player is going to get that tier 2 on the bot. He's going to back off. And with the creep equilibrium so push in, arrows being drawn, they're like, you know what? If nobody's going to come to defend, if you're going to trade for Raxus, we'll do just that. Let's see who's going to do it faster. We have the lead on you. We have the big creep wave on up as well. But LGD a little bit timid about the positioning as well.
Yeah, everyone's got TPs. They're going to have to quickly do some now, it looks like. Anti-Mage, yeah, he's first. They're all TPing. They're going to try to take this fight at top lane.
Well, G can't be in this front. He's going to back off accordingly. He can't be initiated in beginning. Huntrash player blinks in. He's got his buyback, so he's not afraid to take the frontal position.
Yeah, he's also already used his Mantel though. That's on call. Nyx Assassin, TFG, blinking, looking for an Impale. TFG's played, he's been the key deciding factor for some of these defense, like earlier on at mid lane. His blink Impales, just throwing his body on the line, has been the key thing here, keeping MUFC in this game.
Ooh, they want Misery. There's a Ghost Scepter being used. Teamfight's gonna break out right here. Black Hole. That's gonna be on 3. They gotta set up a 3-man Impale. Where's the Anti-Mage? Blinks back in. 14 drops the wall, but there's a bash. Huntrash player in a little bit of trouble. RP's gonna follow through. Impale's gonna hit on 2. Where's the damage output from Brax? Where's the silence? Nothing being dropped so far. Huntrash player, he's low. He blinked back out. It looks like the RP second time being gonna be dropped. TFG's gonna go down eventually. Pycat somehow alive. Finally is gonna go down. FC's gonna go down as well. Buyback's going to be used here by the Lifestealer, and everybody's on the run. I'm not sure who won that team fight.
Yeah, it's hard. It looks like it was a really evenly balanced team fight at the end of the day. Antimate's going to be forced to go back in the bed. He's got 8k gold now. I don't mean to point fingers, but Huntrash player was chasing a Chen off in the secret shop while there was a big 3-man black hole going down. He used his Mana Void on the Chen, who he didn't even kill with it, because Chen pops Ghost Scepter. He's like, oh, Chen used Ghost Scepter, my ultimate's going to do more damage. He only got Chen down to maybe about a third AP, and then suddenly the big... you're screaming about a big 3-man black hole. I'm like, oh, a black hole's going down. I'm watching Anti-Mage, and I'm like, if I'm watching Anti-Mage, there's a 3-man black hole. Why isn't Anti-Mage there? He's chasing a Chen, and that could have gone so much better for MUFC, although end of the day, it still went really well for them. It just didn't go as good as it could have.
Yeah, they did force out a buyback on the Lifestealer, which could be big as we're approaching these late games. If Pycat gets picked off a second time on this farm train or something like that, then they just lose the game flat out. So Pycat's got to be very, very careful about the position. They're pinging him, saying that he's got no buyback. Abyssal Blaze picked up on Anti-Mage. I love this aggressive item purchase. But again, I just want to reiterate a point. Han Trash player, he's got the entire game's farm to him. His entire team's farm to him. He's got to put that farm to hitting people that are not Chen.
Yeah, it can't be going on to this Chen here. Chen just needs to be probably ignored for the most part. Roshan back up now. LGD in there waiting. They don't have the best lineup for bringing it down all that fast. And the other thing is they've been spending a lot of gold on buyback here. So the gold difference is actually probably even bigger than it looks. I definitely feel that LGD have been using a lot more buybacks than MUFC have. Pycat has had no item progression whatsoever since his Abyssal Blade. We're on a similar thing. What could BKB? This is just really two slots of items. And looking at the net worth, it's pretty much even. If it's even between the two teams if you ignore Antimage. Then you've got Antimage who has twice the Lifestealer's total net worth. So even if Antimage, you cut him in half as far as net worth, then you've got yourself an even game. But the gold is heavily favoring MUFC. They're far ahead as far as items go. The one thing which is never going to matter about items is the double RP from G, though.
Yep. Lina up to about 2k golds. Not sure if she bought back that last fight, but for now they're working into the Roshan buyback check. Basically, nobody on Dire has that buyback, so if you get a kill, pretty much done. They're going to use Focus Fire on top of it as well. Roshan dropping quick. Aegis Cheese going to be available. I do want to also point out that the G getting Cheese there is very smart, because all these team fights, you can see TFG just trying his best to mana burn G away from that double RP. The Cheese is going to say no to that.
Yeah, Cheese makes sure he has the second RP, which is going to be definitely useful coming in these next two fights. He's also going to have buyback gold. So now after some Roshan gold, get themselves a bit more fun. Lifesteal are the only one without buyback who strongly matters on this Dire side. Darkseid about to have it in about 100 gold. So Darkseid, Mag, both with buyback soon, and Lifestealer, well, if he waits long enough, he will have his buyback. Although at this point, he really needs another item, I feel. I think it's probably an MKB just to have something to go through the butterfly evasion of the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, MKB would be nice. If you want to go for something like a Cypher Vice, go for Notable Shenanigans. It won't be bad either, especially taking him away from using that BKB. But yeah, Pycat needs items. He needs buyback, although the Age is going to be very, very helpful. He's up to 4k, so give him about 5 more minutes of farm. He's going to give you an item.
Man, this Anti-Mage, 5k gold, what, 52 minutes in, he's still sitting on Trinkle Boots.
Well, he should be swapping that one.
He has got this Abyssal Blade now. I like the Abyssal Blade instead of the Heart. I think it works well at countering the Lifesteal, the Mag. He needs to have the buyback always in these team fights, but at this point, where's that Boots of Travel? Tread's obviously nice, but you need the Boots of Travel.
But at this point, that's it, right, for Anti-Mage. After he goes at BOT, he's completely maxed, so if you're the Dire team, you look at him, well, he hits pretty hard, he hits pretty fast, but the other thing to say is he's done. Like, that's it. He's not going to ever get stronger unless he goes for one of those Hail Mary, Divine Rapier purchase, but I don't think MUFC is that desperate right now.
No, he can get stronger when his teammate picks up a Vlad. Oh, they've got the Vlads on Lina. Lina's just got a Vlad, so...
Nice.
I really like this pick. I mean, I think it's a hero to get it. Not going to have buyback as a result, but I think it's more important that Nyx Assassin has buyback. He's having such a high impact on these team fights. He's been involved in 25 of these kills here, and he's really been holding on for dear life for this team. Enigma 4k gold. Do we look at Refresher Orb, or do we look at Side of Ice is the question, I guess, there. Although he does want to make sure he has buyback as well, but ultra late game, it's one of those two items.
On who? Which hero again?
Enigma, either Side of Ice or Refresher Orb, I imagine.
That's a hard call as well. I feel like he's not gonna live through for a second black hole.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a little bit greedy. I'm also thinking of some of the. Oh, I heard open wound somewhere. A little bit of bash being
not
used.
going to fight this. He can take the Lifestealer one-on-one. Well, he's got Aegis for one thing, but he could bring down the Aegis. I think he's just scared of the potential backup from Mag. Mag would happily use RP to kill an Anti-Mage here, even if it's just a buyback. He's got 2 RPs, so using one just to kill an Anti-Mage is great.
You were talking about the MKB. There is one up now on Pycat.
Great. No buyback though, so this is LGD.int playing some risky Dota. And
Well, he's got Aegis, so...
Yeah, he's got Aegis, but I think at this point they need to. If they're continuing to buy back, they're falling... You mentioned how Anti-Mage isn't getting any bigger, but it feels like LGD.int haven't gotten bigger for the last 15-20 minutes because they've been using all their gold on buybacks and just trading 2 for 2 heroes, 3 for 3. They just haven't been buying new items, which is what they need. Pycat, this is his first item in a long, long time. Winrunner hasn't really seen much new as of late either. So I think Brax just needs to think, buyback's great, but we're going to lose in 70 minutes, 80 minutes if I'm not picking up more items. So he's got to just maybe get an MKB of his own or some kind of DPS, maybe a side device. But LG International, I think that they've had enough. They've got this Aegis for a couple more minutes, so they'll look to get at least a tier 2 out of this at bottom lane.
Also, we're approaching a long enough stalemate, which what I'm about to say becomes a valid point where there is a Rax against MUFC, and that's actually an advantage because MUFC is getting 2.5 creep wave, LGD.int is getting 2 because that big creep wave is always pushing against the Radiant team. Again, it's a very, very tiny thing, but over the course of a long farm war that both teams are trading like this, it will become an issue.
But they give less gold though.
Yeah, but LGN is getting no gold.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you get gold here and there, but yeah, it does give you a slight edge here. But
tiny bit. But here we go. Seems like Contrast player gonna lead the push. Gonna get that tier 2 glyph being used. Shackle shot. Not gonna hit.
If they hit something like that, they definitely look to make a play here. There's high ground on below. It's TFG. Is he going to look to try to find an opening here? He's got Blink. He's gone for a Ghost Scepter, so he didn't go for something big. Tower gets denied.
RP being used. Bash going to be coming up. How much damage can they do? Abyssal Bash. They are going to get the kill. Buyback immediately used. And again, like you said, that's fine. They'll be happy with that trade. RP still up on Magnus because of the refresher. They're probably not even going to use it. They're going to just wait for 90 seconds.
Yep.
And perhaps go for pickoffs.
Yep, look for another pickoff. If they get another solo kill on Anti-Mage in the next 2-3 minutes, it's GG. So for MUFC, this is it's one of those mistakes which you can't really blame on Trash Play for. It's his job to keep being split pushing, and it's such a high risk style of play that something like that's bound to happen. It goes to show how well he's been playing, that it hasn't been happening yet. It finally does. He goes back to split pushing bottom lane. He knows he's pretty safe there because a 5-man mid push is coming. And I think LGD decide they don't even need the pickoff. They can just go take a fight mid with this double RP. I think it'd be better to wait 50 seconds.
Yes, I completely agree. I think this is wrong. They wait for 50 seconds and go for the win.
They've got Aegis now. If they wait 50 seconds, they've got no Aegis. So that's the one thing that I think they decide to go now with because of the Aegis.
Is this funny? Oh, it is timing out very, very soon. You're right. So kind of an awkward timing in terms of waiting for RP, but
they've waited too long. They've got to defend bottom now as well. It looks like Antimage is too scared because they're all missing on the map. He's not going to go blink high ground for the tier 3. He's actually TPing out, which I think is smart here. Although he's not being ganked, that was definitely a smart TP out because so many heroes missing for that long, they would be searching for him quite likely.
I think you still could go back for the push after you defend this because Lifestealer at this point does have buyback even when this Aegis is timed out. He's up to 3k gold after having the MKB purchase. So it could be a push if they want to go for it. But again, at this point, if you're LGD.int, it feels like there's just no pressure. Like the later this game goes, you have a higher chance of winning. I'm not sure how much higher. Maybe it's like a 45% chance up to a 50% chance, something like that. But it's still a higher chance in my opinion.
No, I agree. I think they go for the 5-man push now. Once they push out the top and bottom lane, because both those lanes are in a bit of a weird position here. They'll also see Antimage. I think Antimage is TP to base. They haven't seen him there yet. They're probably wondering that if he's maybe lurking around bottom lane or top lane, ready to counter push as soon as LGD go 5-manning. So once they see Antimage at mid lane pushing out mid lane, they'll think, okay, Antimage is TP'd home. Now is the time where we go straight down mid lane. He's not going to be able to get to either top or bottom in time to cause us any sort of real threats in either of those two lanes.
Yeah, so I guess for Huntress player, maybe he'll just leave the mid lane altogether and just blink to the other lanes or start farming. But he's a creep wave on mid lane. He's not gonna leave that. He's gonna chop him up, and that could be a signal for the LGD team to go.
Yeah, as Reconnect is now there from the Rubik. Guys who are just tuning in, this is the GST challenge. This is our loser bracket finals. LGD, they lost their first match to Orange Esports. They won the loser bracket match up against Vici Gaming. MUFC, they lost in the winner bracket finals to Orange Esports, and here we are in our loser bracket finals. The winner of this goes on to the grand finals to take on Orange Esports, but right now, loser bracket finals, game 2. LGD winning the first game. They've got a bit of a cushion here, even this game aside, even result of this game aside. They're going to have a game 3 if they lose this, so LGD definitely the ones on top here, if you look at the big picture.
Definitely on top. Aegis just spawned out, so I mean, if LGD wants to play really, really safe, they could play it for 3-4 minutes and then just fight another fight at Roshan. In terms of Roshan engagement, also have to give the upper nod to LGD because they have both Darkseer. Chen Creeps is becoming relevant as scouting tools at this late game. If somebody gets picked out, they will survive long enough for Test of Faith. And of course, having things like Power Shot to constantly scout, having a double RP. I think LG more suited for the Roshan fights as well.
Yeah, if they wait for the Roshan fight, Anti-Mage will have buyback by then, but Anti-Mage, if they kill him once anyways, then that means they're probably killing the rest of his team. If he buys back, he can't go into like a 4 or 5 man LGD
He will try.
He'll try.
He's anti-mage.
Look at LGD. They're just sitting there on base. They see 4 or 5 heroes missing on the map, and they're playing very cautious and safe right now. Partly because they've lost their sages now. Chainmail picked up on Lifestealer here. GEST looking for an Assault Cuirass. Blade Mail would be the biggest surprising choice of his life, but we can see the makings of an Assault Cuirass.
Blade Mail might not be bad, to be honest.
Ooh,
If Lifestealer hits you a couple times when his rage is down.
on Anti-Mage though, like is it still pure damage? The Blade Mail damage?
Blade Mail is pair, yes.
Okay.
Which should be said, if he's enraged, then he just laugh at you as he hits you. Blade Mail
Yeah.
or not, so. I wonder how the animation looks between Blade Mail and Spike Carapace. Now they obviously look different, but
Yeah.
you know, it could blend together.
MUFC, there we go. Enigma's next item. Doesn't save for buyback. Full side of Vice. Risky. Very risky.
I like
here.
that. I like that. Because Black Hole down, it doesn't matter if you have buyback or not, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he may get picked off before he uses the Black Hole, I guess, is the question. But if he's smart with his positioning, he can make sure he always gets off a BKB Black Hole. And Mag can't really go in with an RP when you're already channeling Black Hole. So he's just going to go BKB, Blink Black Hole, catch whatever you get, you get. At that point, if you die, there's no point buying back. I agree. And if after your Black Hole, you still got to side the Vise, you can still offer a lot in these team fights. So it's a really smart little pickup here. If he plays this well, it's not going to matter that he doesn't have buyback gold. I think Nyx Assassin is one who does need buyback gold because he's good in the front line. He's the one doing the main initiating here. And him having buyback is the key hero for this Radiant team. Anti-Mage, of course, has to have buyback if they want to stand a chance. It's Anti-Mage buying the gem now. He's going to be the one buying gem, wards, all that. He's got 7.6k gold. At some point, he can get maybe a new BKB if he wants a 10-second one, but for now, it's gem wards for his team.
Yeah, and I was totally sorry. I thought you were talking about Nyx Assassin going out for a play mail.
Oh, no.
Well, you meant Nyx, so I was like, oh.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
no. Of course, Lifestealer is going to be going
Nyx.
for Assault Courier, so my apologies
Yeah.
on that. I thought the discussion was on.
I probably confused some viewers as well who don't know his Dota 1 name.
Yeah. No big deal, no big deal. My mistake. And Illusion Rune's going to get picked up here by G. G still has his bottle. 3,600 gold here up on him. 16 minutes in, and we're again approaching this kind of a long, drawn-out fight. Fights is going to be based on Blink Dagger. It's going to be based on Roshan. Raxus at this point means very little, but winning one fight means you're going to get 2 or 3 lanes of Rax and Throne. Buybacks up for just about everybody on Dire, and only up on the Radiant side for a Nyx Assassin.
Let me ask you this. At this point in the game, who do you think's actually going to win this? Because I don't know. I'm looking at this, I'm like...
Right,
this
like
is
both teams could definitely
50-50.
win. Yeah, they could definitely win. I'm going to put LGD. Just going to say that they have better experience in longer games like these because they scrim against Chinese all day. They're less prone at making mistakes. They're good, better at capitalizing. They also have better Roshan fights. And MUFC seemingly they're about to do some big risky plays. Are they going to try to backdoor Rax?
I think they're just looking for an opening here. Anti-Mage may show him... If Anti-Mage shows himself pushing this mid lane, it's a bit too obvious, but he's going to go in now on Pycat. Immediate Abyssal Blade. Can they bring down Pycat? Yes, they can! No, they can't! Yes, they can! Hon Trash Player finishes him off. Instant buyback. And MUFC, I think, just back off here. That's a win for them. Get a kill. Force out the buyback. They still have Black Hole. They want to wait for Abyssal Blade to come off cooldown, maybe. BKB also on cooldown for Anti-Mage. Once those things are up in a minute, maybe they can look for another opening.
Wall is also down. Wall not exactly the biggest
Yeah.
factor in this game, but if you make an anti-mage illusion, that illusion will hurt.
Oh,
Similar to the situation before where they got a gank on a Han Trash player with the RP, forced out the buyback. They just, again, will trade those ultimates for those buybacks, and we'll go back to really farming. I don't think that particular gank had any impact, really. I guess it has a bigger impact against Pycat because he's really short on gold. The gank against anti-mage really had no impact because he's... Look at his gold right now. He's buying gem for the team. He's buying wards, dust. But looks like they're gonna go straight into the Roshan pit here, Brax. Really?
No BKB yet for 14 seconds on Anti-Mage, but he's going to blink in and find out what's going on. RP, they'll bring him down at least once. Maybe Lina on the high ground. He's going to drop a Lina stun here. Anti-Mage, he's still okay. He's got BKB in 5 seconds. This is going to be a dead G. He gets caught out of position. Instant buyback. He's only got 1 RP. He casts his Refresher right away just to get the cooldown started. They want to take this fight. They want to
LGD
make sure they
is
contest this Roshan. And
making small but very, very critical mistakes trying to challenge the Roshan. They had the Equilibrium on their side. Anti-Mage drew out an RP, very, very tanky. I didn't like that RP because Lifestealer was not infested inside. You got an RP, great. No damage.
They need to try find Enigma, because I don't know if they know whether Enigma has buyback or not, but if they kill off Enigma before the fight begins, then I think they win the fight.
But Enigma's never going to put himself in a position to get killed.
Yeah.
Brax, by the way, just drop a lot of items. He's going to be going for Scythe Vice. He understands that if he dies right now, even if he has buyback, it does not matter because the team really needs him. RP the second time. The Black Hole's going to be right there, though. No, G cannot get picked down. Vacuum. No more follow-up. Where is Lifestealer? Lifestealer's not there. Winter set. BKB of Brax doing some decent damage. But Han Trash player, he's going to be the big factor. Black Hole on Pycat. He does not have buyback, and we might be going to game number 3. No, he's getting healed. He's going to get sent back. Fine. They're okay. Lifestealer's going to be fine. Where's Chen? Chen got picked off by the anti-mage. Looks like they see 1437. Does he have a teleport scroll? Yes, he does. So he should be fine. Looks like he runs into Winter. But right now, the anti-mage does not care. Anti-mage is going to be going for the Raxus by himself and going for the win. 1437, baiting out the entire team. I'm not too sure why they're chasing a Darkseer because it doesn't matter at all if he dies or not. They should be holding anti-mage.
Lifestealer still has no buyback. And I think they should just look to try in this game. They are taking damage on their tier 4 towers as well as bottom lane. A massive crit wave is going to get this tier 3 bottom tower of the Radiant team maybe down to about half HP-ish, maybe even brought down if they're not careful. But I think they're just going to go for the game end here. Hon Trash player, he's caught by a shackle. He may get brought down just once. He's got buyback though. But probably someone unnecessarily used it. Life's still going to try to bring down FCFC. 4 stuff going to help keep him alive. They're still chasing on him. Silence is there as well. Can they bring down Pycat? Hon Trash player TP's in. Brax not going to get away from the Impale, and this could be the death of Brax. Looks like there is no escape for him.
Brax does not have buyback. He might not. Oh,
BKB Surge, he's still alive. He's got no buyback and he's going to survive this. No, he has got buyback. He didn't actually use it last fight. Pycat doesn't though. He gets brought down. Hon Trash play with the BKB on the front lines. Now down to 5 seconds, but he can rebuy that if he wants. Gloop going to get put out, and this is going to be top Raxus down for LGD.int. They've got Mag back alive. He's got an RP. He's got double RP in 20 seconds, but this is going to be probably 2 sets of Raxus going down. LGD, and I don't think they're going to call GG just here, but they've got to make something happen, and they're going to have to do it without the Lifestealer.
Yeah, double RP is not that useful without... Oh, they're going to make some wall being dropped down here. Again,
they need an anti-mage illusion, and they didn't get it.
TFG, are they going to RP on top? The silence is going to be on him as well. There's a Ghost Scepter being used, but here comes the anti-mage. Hex on GG. If he dies right here, it's going to be really bad. He will survive. It's the sendback of Chen again, proving to be very, very important. Shackle shot on anti-mage illusion. They lost a Rax. It means nothing. It means literal nothing at this point.
That wall from 1437 was so valuable for defending here, but they somewhat wasted. But MUFC, they've still got 45 seconds with life still dead, but they're forced back to defend. They lost their tier 3 bottom tower. I think someone had to defend that. Lena maybe was the one who went back. Tier 4 towers also took a bit of damage. So LGD only losing 1 set of Raxes there was so big. Essentially, at this point in the game, I don't think 1 set of Raxes is going to make a big difference. They lose 2, then they're somewhat behind. But the big issue is here, they're just not really coming out on top of any of these fights. They're being forced to continuously buy back. All their heroes either have no gold from all their buybacks they're using, or they're lacking item progression, or their buybacks on cooldown, they don't have enough gold. So it's really getting harder and harder for LGD to keep on taking these fights, even with Anti-Mage maxed out.
Oh, Anti-Mage, speaking of him being maxed out, he's changing items. He's ditching something for a heart. I think it's BKB.
Yeah, he's dropped his BKB. I guess when he has... Well, he's got no buyback though, so it's still risky. If you're buyback, I guess you can go in with the Heart of Trance buyback and then pick up the BKB maybe for the next fight, but I guess he decides the Heart's going to be doing more than a BKB.
I think so as well. We're approaching to stage a game where LG International is not representing enough damage output, especially if he gets a lifesteal with that Vlad, so Heart is going to be more useful to that fact. They're still going to stun you, no matter...
If they hex him up though, he dies. Like, I don't, even with a Heart of Trance.
Sure, that's fair, that's fair.
Dead.
I mean, he's basically banking on his teammate to counter initiate through the black hole. The BKB blink black hole.
And Nyx Assassin just blink Impale even has had some massive. Nyx Assassin to me has been the MVP for this MUFC team. He's been the one keeping them in this game. Without his Impale work and just that earlier tier 1 push where he held off for so long pretty much on his own was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, he's doing it so much with so little items as well. I mean, he's picking up the Aegis Immortal right now, basically to give him a get out of jail free card if he does mess up. But I haven't seen him mess up. He's playing really well this game. Speaking of item progression, again, Dire, they're just constantly saving for buyback, and they're not losing the game because of it, but they're also not winning the game because they're not getting any extra items.
Pycat
Pycat
says no.
finishing assault. Well, he doesn't have buyback cooldown. No, he did.
It just came off cooldown. He used it some time ago. So I think this is a point where you just got to buy those items because you're 70 minutes in. This Radiant team are getting Scythe of Vice on Enigma, Nyx Assassin. Well, he's only got the Ghost Scepter, but he's going to be picking up another item soon. They just need these items to actually kill off the anti-mage, so having buyback or not isn't going to be a deciding factor. Apart from G, I think it's worth having buyback on the mag, because his Ghost Scepter is going to help a little bit, but he needs to have a buyback maybe. But apart from him, I don't think Pycat and Brax should have buyback. They should just be looking to pick up DPS items.
We're looking at some ridiculous net worth at this point. I'm not sure whether it's even important to look at that graph anymore. It's worth to say that Lifesteal is quote-unquote catching up, although still tens of thousands behind.
At this point, stats just there to be stats. I don't think any of those numbers really matter. The only one that does matter a little bit is that buyback.
Buyback, yep. I've been keeping it on there for good measures, so.
It's still a thing where those... Oh, Antimage. Oh, no. Do you see what Antimage just did? He pulled a ZSMJ. He left well, what we saw yesterday, he left that Dark Troll, the Dragon on like 2 HP, and it was TPing away. It's like, oh crap, I didn't kill it. He cancels his TP to finish it off.
Well worth it. Well worth it. Obviously...
He needed that gold. Like, what are you going to do with 7.4k gold? You need that extra 200.
You got to buy back by the Divine. That's the real DSMJ move.
And I guess you still... I mean, you always need the Battle Fury to push out creep waves and clear them. But at some point, if you have your ally heroes, whether it's Lean or whoever, being able to push out creep waves, you could trade the Battle Fury in for a Divine Rapier. But it's still the Battle Fury, just such a good value item.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget about Black Hole. I mean... If they're clumped up, that Battle Fury is going to do a lot of damage.
You could even trade in the Abyssal Blade for a Divine Rapier, but the Bash is helping out a lot against that.
Sure, yeah. So I'm not sure what you drop. This is always the issue with these carries that get to a late game stage very, very quickly, but the game is not over. You always have issues in terms of ultimate late game item choices because you just simply wish you could buy a slot for like 10,000 gold or something.
That was a bit silly from MUFC. They let their tier 4 towers take about 500-600 points of damage, and at this point, that's going to add up every single time, especially if they're not achieving anything in return. I feel like they can't just let these tier 4 towers keep taking damage. It was the same thing in that Vici Gaming versus MUFC game, although Vici Gaming ended up losing anyways when they were up 4 Raxes. But I feel like keeping these tier 4 towers is basically every point of HP on them can matter a lot in this late game scenario when we've now hit the 70-minute mark.
What would both teams give for for Roof Trillium right now?
Yeah.
That late game building healing.
Yeah, it's got some viabilities in these sort of 70-80 minute games as a, I guess, like played as a hard support maybe. The problem is he does nothing for the first 60 minutes, but once you get
that's an issue. All right, new meta. Go for the late game with 60-minute, 70-minute play. Roof Trillium.
And towers will never be brought down.
There you go.
Unless you're tiny and you can just 4-shot towers.
I mean, I do want to say this is a good example for a game where people always say late game Shen becomes useless. Misery has been a big factor in these games. Let's not forget about his damage amplification. That's pretty big, but more importantly, the sendback has really saved his teammates when they're tanky enough to survive at least 3-4 seconds of focus fire, and basically they get a free buyback in a sense. So.
The one here we haven't seen a lot from has been Darkseid with the vacuum wall. His vacuums to cancel black holes. He's cancelled black hole at least twice with it, and he's done a lot with that, but he hasn't been able to hit it. I don't think we've seen a really team fight winning wall of replica yet this game.
I mean, there was one that was really, really nice mid where there was an RP on 3, and the wall was able to do a significant amount of damage with multiple illusions and whatnot. But yeah, you're right. Aside from that one, he's mostly playing as like a utility, and with 1437 on the hero, you expect that. He's not going to be your carry Darkseer with your Acceptor. Speaking of Acceptor, that could be a good buy. He has it, but he's obviously saving for buyback.
What does Antimage do now? Seeing on 10k gold. If you're not buying a new item, you may as well just buy 50 flying couriers and use them as a distraction.
Well, they do give away gold.
Imagine if you have 20 flying couriers. It's the strategy where you used to be able to do it with BKB couriers, where they get super big. And if you have it flying right above your hero, how do the enemies cast like Scythe of Vice? Because they can't click you. They keep trying to click the courier. Well, they keep clicking the courier instead of your hero. If you block out like the box of your hero to be clicked, so legitimate late game strategy for Antimage is to buy 20 couriers and have them hovering above your little click selection circle.
I cannot tell if you're being
100% serious. If you've got the micro to do it, why not?
Cause Magnus says, I don't give a freak how much curry are you. RP no click.
Yeah,
And you gotta keep in mind there's Empower, so
I guess.
Empower will one-shot everything.
I'll get back to you in 5 minutes with a new idea for Anti-Mage's 10k gold.
Maybe we won't have 10 minutes. I say run into FC is gonna get focused. Where's the focus? Yes, they do bring him down. Here comes RP. I think it's just only got one on TFG. Second RP is gonna come in. Just two-man RP just on single both times. Pycat right-clicking away. He's gonna be bashing up. Two-man bash. This is a bash fight. It looks like Huntrash player has lost that fight. Everybody's buying back. And we do see Winter. He's on the run. He's got an RP. He has to use the RP, but I think he's gonna die. Shaco shot's gonna cancel that TP. Winter's dead. And I do believe the Radiant's gotta back off. They gotta start defending everybody alive. This is the merit of saving all those buyback. Does Radiant have those buyback save? Nyx Assassin does not have it. Winter does not have it. I think the game might be approaching a stage where it's not favoring.
He bought a full side of the Vice before that fight. Did make a whole Huntrash player's got a haste spring here, so sided up, not gonna add too much damage. Black Hole though! Vacuum immediately cancels at 1437. Criticize his War of Replicas all you want. These vacuums have been absolutely sensational. Lose 2, insta buyback from Brax here. The threat is not over, and Roshan's respawn. They'd love to get Aegis and Cheese on, well, Enigma, I guess, as well as possibly Lina as well, because Antimate, he's got no slots for it. He's got 12k gold. Don't take the Roshan gold. Share the gold around. Give it to someone else. Darkseid picks up a Heaven's Halberd now.
I love it. I love it.
It looks like they're not even going to go for Roshan. More than anything, you want to deny it from LGD.int, because LGD.int, they've got plenty of slots for this Aegis. Pycat would love to have Aegis or Cheese. Same for the Mag. Same for the Windrunner.
Windrunner. Gotta be careful of that anti-mage at this point with so many buildings exposed. You could snipe tier 4 towers. You talk about the importance of tier 4 towers in these ultra late game stages. It feels like we're approaching a game where even big team fights being traded back and forth, it just doesn't matter. Anti-mage going in the mid lane, that's gonna force out a couple of TPs. It looks like they're gonna chase for that kill. Don't think they really can. Lifestealer picks up the Aegis. He has multiple slots left. As I say that, he's actually approaching in a stage where he starts to have to trade for some Bucha Travelers. Cheese is picked up on who? I'm not sure.
Haven't seen. He's on the Courier. There's one on the Mag, but I think that's the old one, is it?
I think so. Maybe it's the new one. Maybe he's in the previous team fight. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
FC getting caught out in that beginning without dropping any spells. Had to rebuy for it.
He was walking up front and he got instantly hexed and brought down, but it's just going to be unfortunate for him, and MUFC would have loved to get the Cheese Aegis as well. Enigma at this point in these fights is so crucial. Nyx Assassin also no buyback after buying this side of the Vice, but they've got double sides now, which is going to help them a lot. And unfortunately, that Anti-Mage versus Lifestealer fight, if that was Anti-Mage bashing the Lifestealer instead, I think MUFC win that fight. It was a matter of who bashes who.
It's just
Who's gonna
basically
be the
luck. I mean, Anti-Mage is working with evasion, of course.
I think, yeah, the game comes down to a bit more than luck, but that little clash there, that little bit there was chance going away.
LGD, they're gonna find themselves anti-mage. Just Blink Scythe RP dropping everything on Trash player. That's gonna force out buyback.
14k gold. He uses 4k of it. He loses about 1500, spends 2.2k on a buyback, and he's still got 10k.
Are they gonna go for it? They know Black Hole is gonna be down for 44 seconds. I think that's the opening. Yeah, they have their own RP. They're ready to go.
And it's not just Anti-Mage with no buyback now. It's Enigma with no buyback. Nyx has no buyback. No one on this Radiant team apart from Lina, maybe.
Yeah, Lina has it. Lina has it. The thing is, LG right now is basically grinding them out, slowly attritioning.
Well, grinding them out, but they're not doing any damage to the tier 4s. They're not coming close to getting a rack tier, but they are going to make a play here just to go for the big sort of game-winning Hail Mary play more than anything.
They got about 15 seconds. 15 seconds to the Black Hole CD. TFG, there's a Cypher Vice. Oh, Brax gets hit. Cypher Vice now. Brax in big trouble. He gets bashed. He needs some rescue. Oh, he blinks in, but he gets canceled. Huge RP kills G flat out. Pycat gets lifted up in the air. He's getting bashed. He's trying to run to a creep. He doesn't make it to the creep. He has Aegis, but I'm not sure what he'll make it out alive. Impale's gonna miss. Brax gets stunned. Brax is stunned. No!
Oh! Conversion. He's got to guess right. No, let the creep wave. Don't take the creep wave. Let the creeps kill it. Yes, he's done it. They got him.
Rax. Oh, Rage is bashing. He's fighting Wang the Black Hole.
Black Hole even. Are you kidding me? Windrunner's DC'd. Do they need a pause for this? I'm not sure.
They should pause. They should really pause.
They
got
got 60 seconds with no buyback, I guess. I think he's just reconnecting into the game maybe, because they're not pausing. He's not up for 50 seconds regardless, so they'll maybe pause when he's about to respawn. They don't want to make this game go on any longer than it's already gone 77 minutes now. buyback from Lifestealer, but that's all there is. Mag, he's short. He needs 200 gold more. He doesn't have a buyback.
Oh man, this next 30-second could be huge. There's no black hole. They siphon him up. The blink. Go anti-mage. Yes, anti-mage blinking. Pycat getting a second bash from the Abyssal. They bring him down second time. That's gotta be game. Darkseer gets picked off as well. Buyback here from the Darkseer, but there's no one defending against Han Trash player. I think you have done it. Heaven's Halberd got the wrong hero, and the drone fully exposed. GG is called. And
After
good game.
77 minutes, 21 earn charges on Rubik, and 15,000 gold on the anti-mage at the end of the game. Absolutely incredible game. We get ourselves a game 3. Orange Esports are going to be kept waiting even longer, as they've got to see who's going to be going up against them. MUFC versus LGD International in a game decider. It couldn't have gone down any better.
We're getting some hype up on the Beyond the Summit presentation of the GTS challenge. This is the loser bracket final. We'll be going to one final game. This is Luminous and Gods. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We will be back just momentarily. Thanks for sticking with us.